Sometimes I go for a little walk around the farm, and whenever I get back here to the banana patch, I kind of get stuck. I have to stop. I just sort of stand here a while and soak it in. It's such a peaceful place. I'm standing inside of these banana trees, and I can hear the nice soothing sound of the irrigation running. I have these little misters, these little sprinklers that kind of spray a mist of water onto the banana trees, and it's just so nice. And every now and then birds will start chirping. I got my nursery over here. I can see my baby trees growing. We got our vegetable garden, another little baby banana grove that we planted on the other side of the nursery. And here we have these wobbler sprinklers going, which is also a nice pleasant sound to just kind of sit. A butterfly just flew by over there. And you know what would make this spot a lot more enjoyable? If I had something to sit on. Well, lucky for me, I got a bunch of bamboo. We got different types of bamboo growing in different spots on the farm. There's a wind blowing. I wanted you to hear the bamboo rustling. It's a great sound back here. But as I was saying, we got bamboo growing different spots of the farm, different types of bamboo. And I periodically set it out to dry. So here's some bamboo that's been drying for a while. Most of it's dry. I added a few things that are still yet to dry out, but most of it on here is dried and nice and ready to use. You got to dry it. The bamboo shrinks as it's drying, so if you use it before it dries and shrinks, not only is it real heavy to work with, but whatever you put together is going to fall apart because the bamboo shrinks. That bamboo is now all shrunk. It's all dried. And I think today I'm going to use some of it to build a little bench for our quiet spot in the back there. Now the bamboo I'm using for this project is just bamboo I cut and laid out to dry. I didn't cure it. There's different ways you can cure bamboo. You can treat it. This isn't something that's going to last 10 or 15 years out there in the elements. When I make this bench, I'll probably get 2 years before it starts to rot away and the lashings start to come undone, which is fine by me because this stuff would have just grew and died and fell over anyhow, so I might as well make something out of it. Now, as time goes on, I think I'm going to look into better ways to harvest this bamboo and prepare it for more permanent projects, but for now, I'm just going to cut this thing up and build a bench. I started out with some rough plans. I want the seat of the bench to sit about 18 inches high off the ground, and I want the back, I'm going to put a little backrest, I want that to be about 36 inches high. And I say about because when you're working with bamboo, it's Mother Nature, right? This isn't milled lumber. I got to work with this the way it grew. So I got two things I'm dealing with here. Number one is the distance between nodes. So this is a node, that little joint in a bamboo, and this right here is also a node. I don't know if you can see it, right about there, right? So there's about 24 inches between the nodes here. And when you're working with bamboo, you want to do your cuts right at the node or very close to the node, because if you cut out here, it's just thin hollow wood that's going to split and rot as you try to work with it. Now this piece right here, I plan to use to make the legs of the bench, and it's got 8 nodes, which is perfect. I'll use 2 nodes for the front legs, and then I'll use 2 pieces that are 2 nodes each for the rear legs, for a total of 6 nodes. So this piece here has more than enough that I need to make my legs. Now let me cut it and I'll show you what I mean by the nodes. Here's how this piece of bamboo was together. I just cut it at the node. Now on this end I have a closed side. I have 2 closed sides. This gives me a perfect leg. On this end I have an open side. I don't want to use this because this will just start to kind of get brittle and decay over time. Let me make the rest of my cuts at the node and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you see we've got our 2 front legs, then our rear legs like this that come up higher. That gives me space so I can put a backrest. So what I'll do is build a frame from the 2 front legs to the 2 back legs, a square frame reinforced a little bit, and then just go across the top with bamboo for the bench part, and then lash bamboo horizontally across the back here for the backrest. Let's get started. Now the bamboo I use to make the frame is going to be significantly smaller in diameter because I need to drill holes into my legs. They need to be small enough that there's still a lot of support in the legs, but large enough to accommodate the size of the frame. So this is about a pretty good size here. And I'm going to make this one 1, 2, 3 nodes wide. And for this smaller diameter, I don't need the chainsaw. I can just use this. Now I got 4 lengths of bamboo cut. These 2 are going to run long ways, and these 2 are going to represent the width. You see, these are smaller than these. Now to join this to this, I'm going to bore a hole with a large enough diameter that I could actually insert this bamboo. Yeah, Tom?
I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to come and help you, okay?
All right, buddy. You can come help. That's my helper. What I'll do is I'll drill a hole big enough in here that allows me to insert this piece of bamboo in, and then I'll lash it in there. This is a drill bit that drills a hole. I have several sizes of these, so I just picked the smallest one that allows insertion of my widest piece of bamboo. So I took my widest diameter bamboo, the widest side of it. As long as this big one fits, the rest of them will fit. Now it's not a snug fit. I'm going to have to work with it a little bit, but at least it'll get it in there for me. Let me show you how that works. I got my helper with me now too. He's working off of, what am I getting you for work?
Phone.
he's gonna get a phone and a monthly data plan or whatever, right? But he's got to put in 50 hours of work with Daddy on the farm. Okay, so I got the rear leg in my hand, and look, we've got our side beam cut and our cross beam cut. Same thing with the rear leg. I mean with the front leg. Now Tom, hand me that little beam there, right there by the headphones. So as I said, these legs are going to take these cross beams, and I used the bit that was the closest in size, but it was still a little bit big. It was still a little bit big. See, I have some wiggle room here, but that's actually good because I need to lash this cross beam to this leg, and in order to do that, I'm going to have to use lashing, but I'm also going to use some wooden shims, and this will give me an opportunity to actually level the 4 legs, and I'm going to do that on a concrete slab inside of my garage. Sorry for the bad acoustics in the garage, but you see Tommy here, and he's holding our frame. Now Tommy, just wiggle that just a little bit, not a lot. Just show how it wiggles. Go ahead. A little more. Yeah, see? So all those holes are a little too big for those frames, but that was actually really good because it gave us a chance to line everything up and make it level. And now all the legs are going to be even. And now we're just going to take string and lash in this framework. All right, Tomboy, we got our lashings in the back done. They were the hard ones, and I didn't want to film while we were doing those because it was kind of like tricky, and it's hard to like do stuff and film at the same time. But now we could do this front lashing, okay?
All right.
All right. So first, I just want to have a little bit of my beam sticking out so I have something to lash to. And I take my cord, peel off a bunch of cord, more than I think I'll need because you always end up needing more than you think you'll need. Now a lot of people use a clove hitch to attach their cord for a lashing, and I would too if I was using lashing cord, but since I'm using this orange crap that I just had sitting around the garage, it's very slippery. It doesn't want to hold a knot, so I just make a loop. I make a loop in one end of my string, and then I just put a little bit of line through the loop, which gives me a little lasso like this, right? And I take my lasso, and that's how I attach to the first end of my lashing. Now that I've got my string attached, we're going to use a simple lashing called a square lashing. And this is a lashing you use when you have to connect 2 pieces of wood at a 90-degree angle, like in a T shape. So even though I've got this drilled, this doesn't have to be used only when it's drilled. Like you could have this going right across the front of the wood also, but it's a very simple lashing. So you start out lashed to one of the pieces that you're connecting. You come across the front face, across the bottom of the face of the other piece. Then you go around the back side like this. Then you come across the face again, but on the top this time. Then you go around your side piece again. Side piece. And then you come across the bottom of the face, around the back, across the top. You want to make sure you're keeping things nice and tight as you do this, so you get a nice tight lashing to your post. Here we go. back, across the front, back, across the top. Back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, and then you tie it off with a clove hitch. Now, as I said earlier, I don't really like using a clove hitch with this string because this stuff slips, but a clove hitch works like this. You go around once, then you keep it tight like with your thumb, then you come around like in an X shape, like that, and then your third, you pull a little slack in the X, right, like this, and then your third time around, you go through the slack you left in the X. Tommy, can you help me out? I can't see there. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you got it.
And you pull tight. And you can kind of push it up into your lashing. And since this string slips, I'm going to make two. So once around, then I make a looser X, pull a little slack in the X, come back around, go through, and pull tight. And there I've tightened that down with 2 clove hitches. So now we have this attached and this attached. So now we got to attach our cross beam going that way. So we've got 5 of our 6 lashings. We'll make the remaining 1, 2, 3 that we need to, 5 of our 8 lashings. We'll make the 1, 2, 3 that we need to make, and then we'll show you the finished frame. Okay, Tomboy, what did we get done so far?
Well, we got done with the frame of the bench.
Yeah, now give it a shake. Let's see how steady it is. Pretty steady, but a little wobbly, right?
Yeah.
But that's what you expect with just like a cheap string lashings, but we're going to tighten it up later. And also, by doing it this way, now we got everything lashed in such a way that the legs are all going to be the same length. So if you try to put this on a flat surface, it's going to sit level. And also, the best part, look at how we got the cross beams all nice and level. Show them, Tom. Look at that bubble.
Boom.
Right in the middle. So we got everything nice and level. So now we got to go get some wood to make the seats in the back. You want to go do that?
Yep.
Let's go. Tom, show them the bamboo pile. This is where we dry our bamboo, right, buddy?
Yep.
So look at some of this green stuff. Point to it, Tom, the more green stuff.
Yeah.
That we put there more recently. But in the back, we got some brown stuff that's been drying a little longer, right? So pick some that are about half the diameter of the braces we used, and we'll bring those back and we'll use them for the seat and back material, okay?
All right.
Perfect. Now neaten up that stack of lumber for me. That stack of bamboo. Thank you. And I think I'm going to pick this mango too while we're out here. Yummy. Okay, pick up that bamboo and start heading back to the garage. Another thing we use the bamboo for, a lot of times when I have a bunch of bananas coming out, it gets too heavy and the tree starts to fall. So I just make a little prop out of 2 pieces of bamboo, like a little scissors, you know, and I open it up at the top and prop it. And I got my legs coming back like that. All right, Tomboy, line up a piece of bamboo so that it like sticks out as much as it's sticking out of the cross beam over there. So what's that? We got about an inch, inch and a half, maybe a little more, just a little speck more sticking out. Pull it back just a tad, there. Back a little bit. No, back. Back, 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 right about there. Okay, and then I'll mark it over here on this side, about where we want, about how much distance we need, is about right there, okay? So let's measure that. Go ahead, grab a tape measure, Tommy, and measure that. We got it, 50 inches. So, all right. So we'll cut a few 50-inch pieces and start fitting them on there, all right?
All right.
Tommy boy, you want to lash one up?
Yep.
All right. You want me to hold it for you, or you want to start with the new one yourself?
I'm going to start with the new one.
Okay. Now look, see that ugly crap?
Yeah.
We want that facing the back, right? Whenever you're using wood and stuff, you want to look at what you're using. And if there's an ugly side, put that in the back where no one's going to see it.
Hey. Wow, Tommy.
You want to hold that for him? No, you hold that piece for him. There you go.
And then now I start doing it?
Yeah.
There?
Yep. Now remember how I would put my thumb. Yeah, see? You want to put your thumb like he is right there and keep it tight. See?
Yep.
And then pull it back. I'll bring it through. There you go. It's day 2 of the bench building project. We had to break it into 2 days because it was just too hot to keep working last night. Not only were we suffering in the heat and dehydration, but there was just so much sweat pouring off it. It made it hard to work. It soaked everything. Finally, after I cooled down, I sat down to edit like the first half of the video, and I started looking at the footage, and I saw like not just little drops of sweat, but just a steady trickle of sweat coming off me. My son was also covered in water, and it's dangerous if you let yourself get too dehydrated. So we've learned how to pace ourselves down here in the South Florida sun. So we waited today, we came back out, and we finished up the bench. We got the seat installed here, you see this. We also got our backrest installed. And I have a few issues, a few things I want to maybe ask my son's opinion about. As you can see, it's sturdy, it holds me, but it's also very rickety. I thought I was going to be able to, make it a little steady, make it a little sturdy with some wooden shims and stuff like that, but that doesn't seem to be working, so I have some other ideas. But I want to get some ideas off my son also, so let's go round him up, see what he has to say. I bet he's where he always is, right in front of his PS4. Tommy boy,
Yes?
I need your help with something.
Oh, what video?
You too, Zay.
What?
Your mommy told me it's okay if you want to get into one of these videos with us. You want in?
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
We're doing a project. We're building a bamboo bench. You want in or you want to keep playing Madden?
Or flips.
Huh?
I'm in.
All right. Tell the people what your name is.
Isaiah.
And where do you know Tommy from?
From football.
And why aren't you playing football right now?
Because the coronavirus is real.
Do you miss it?
Yes.
Can you wait till next year?
No. I cannot wait till next year.
And what position do you play?
I play corner, really wide receiver, and safety.
I can vouch for it. I've seen you make some real good plays out on the field. And you're a good team member also. Come on, take a look at what me and Tommy have been building. Tommy, what position do you play?
Running back in the end.
Do you miss football?
Yep.
So take a look at your bench, Bubba. Tell Zay what you were working on yesterday.
Bench. Oh, Dad.
What?
You finished it?
I mean, it's pretty finished, but feel it. It's still a little rocky. It's still a little rickety. Go ahead. You boys can sit on that. Go ahead. It's comfortable, but kind of shake it a little bit. You can see how it's like a little rocky, a little rickety?
Yeah.
And I thought what I was going to be able to do is just take like wooden shims and put them in these little holes and kind of shim it up, but I tested it out. That's not working. So I want to get your opinion on a few things. So stand up. Let me get your opinion on one thing first. All right, first of all, look at this space here between the front of the seat and that little cross beam. See that big opening between the legs?
Yeah.
Is that ugly? You think we should leave it like that, or you think we should try to maybe put a beam like...
Leave it.
Leave it?
Yeah.
You don't want to try to put one like right here, from like right across the middle, like drill it in?
Or we could do a beam like this.
Like a support? Well, that's what I was thinking. So the other issue is, Tommy, shake it back and forth. See how it's like rickety in that direction? Now go side to side. See how it's not as bad side to side?
Yeah.
Because we have all the support beams of the backrest and the seat, right? But when you shake it forward and backwards, so I was thinking two things. One thing we might be able to do is maybe put like two beams across the bottom from front to back. So going from here to this beam in the back and make two of those, like horizontally, like perpendicular to the way we have everything else. And maybe that'll stop it. Or another way I thought, Tom, was maybe we put, go ahead, point between those two legs, Zay. Between the two bottom legs there. Yeah, like maybe we put some kind of support down in there. What do you think would be a better way to go about it?
No, I think just like put some sticks in here.
Across the legs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. And then the other thing is, look, we got this hole here. That's going to let rain in, right? Because the way we had to cut the bamboo, we had to leave these holes. So what I'm going to do is go down to the next node right here, and I'm going to drill holes so that the water will come
What
out.
happens if you make like a bottle that you could just put your stuff, like your waters any kind of stuff in there.
I was thinking of that. That's actually a good idea, like if we could put something in here and use these as a holder instead. And I still might do that, but either way, I still have to drill a hole because look, this goes down and then there's a little bottom down in there, right? So water's gonna collect.
Yeah.
And when water collects, that's gonna rot this thing from the inside out. Do you guys wanna drill a hole?
Yeah.
Let's drill a hole. Say, have you ever drilled a hole before?
No.
Do you wanna try?
Yeah. All
right, here. Grab this drill. Now look, before you touch anything, just hold the drill. Now just squeeze that trigger so you get used to how it works. That's right. Okay? So that's how that's going to work. So we need to drill just a little drainage hole in the bottom of this pole right here so that when water goes in the top, it'll drain out. Okay? And I don't want you to hit my orange string. I just want you to drill it straight in like that. Okay?
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Nice job. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
Come on over here. Now smoothly and straight, go ahead, drill that in there, buddy. Nice and easy. There you go, push it, put some pressure. There you go, right in there. Now we got our drainage holes. All right, so we got our...
It's going to be stable?
Say again, Zay?
Are you sure it's going to be stable?
It's going to be stable, yeah. It's stable enough, but it's just a little wiggly.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it should be fine. So you guys gonna help me pull it out to put it out in the nursery? All right, each of you guys grab a side. Come on, let's see these tough football players. Let's go.
No.
Yeah, you're fine. It's fine.
Like this.
Okay.
On the back like this. Yeah. Oh.
Here they come with the bench. Yeah, Tommy, set it right in front of the teepee, looking out over the garden, here in the shade. But turn it the other way. Turn it around. You guys out of breath? You guys would be cooling down from a football game right now. All right, Tommy. Thanks, boys. It looks really good there. Me and Zay are sitting on the bench. It definitely supports both our weight with no problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's, like I say, it's just a little bit wobbly, but I'm out of lashing. I'm out of cord. But when I go to the hardware store and get more cord, I'm going to lash supports across the sides on both sides, and that'll firm it up nice for us. Now, here's what we learned, Tommy. I think the bamboo was really good. I think using this orange cord as lashing was a mistake. This stuff ain't meant really to lash, and it kind of slips, and it's not going to last very long. It's also ugly. So I want to do another one someday where we use like a proper lashing cord, and we'll do it real nice and neat. You know what I mean? But for just a little thing here to sit out in the garden and enjoy ourselves, this will probably, we'll probably get a year or two out of it before the sun like rots all of this, all this string and the bamboo starts to rot, but that's okay. So would you say it was a successful project, Tom?
Yep.
So Zay, would you say I look pretty cool right now, pretty relaxed? And what is it that makes me look so cool?
Your shirt.
This shirt here, this Sleepy Lizard shirt?
Yep.
And if I wanted to buy one of these, where can I go to get it?
Guacfarm.com.
GUACFARM.com. Guacfarm.com is the place you could go for a Sleepy Lizard t-shirt, some of our stickers, fruit when it's in season, and pretty soon we're going to be selling seeds and trees. So while you go out there shopping, we'll be sitting here relaxing in the garden on our new bench, and we'll see you on the next video.
Skirt.